Let's have a look at using masks in Figma. So what actually is masking? Masking is a process where you use one object, which is the mask, to control visibility of other objects. In Figma and also usually in other programs, the areas of the mask that are not transparent basically determine the visible areas of the object or objects that are being masked. Sometimes, for example, in Photoshop, you use black and white to determine what is transparent and what is not. But in this case, in Figma, it's pure alpha channel, meaning transparency. And also in Figma, anything can be masked and anything can be used as a mask. Let's have a look at a few examples. So in this case, we have a mask that is text layer and then an image that will be masked. Let's have a look at what the result will look like. We'll copy this, and if you want to mask something or use something as a mask, you have to make sure that it's beneath the objects that are being masked. So if it isn't in the background, just press left bracket or command left bracket to move it back. So now that it's arranged in the proper way, we can select the two layers and then go here to click use as mask or press command Control M. And this is the result. It created a mask group that contains the image and the text. Here you can see that the text layer is being used as mask. It has this symbol right here. The whole thing, the whole group, the mask and things that are being masked automatically grouped inside a layer group called mask group. Of course, this can be renamed. And also the text is still intact, so we can edit the text layer by going here, selecting the text tool and editing the text layer. So what happened here is that Figma looked at this layer and noticed which areas are transparent and which are not. And then these areas that were not transparent, it used those as a mask, which means it used these areas to show exclusively show the parts of this image. So let's have a look at how it changes when you switch the order of those two. So let's say that we use this image as a mask and actually move the text on top, which means that now the image will be used as a mask. So what happened is basically nothing, because the whole area of the image is not transparent. This means that the whole object will be visible. This also means that if we move this, there suddenly are areas of the text that are not being directly above the image object. This is what happens. It's also good to mention that these mask groups, these objects can be manipulated with in any way. We can stretch the image, we can make it smaller, bigger, we can move it around, whatever you need. Also, let's have a look at what happens when the layer has transparent, non-transparent, and partly transparent areas. So in this case, the layer has a drop shadow applied, which means that there are areas of these objects that are partially transparent. Let's have a look at what the result will look like. If we move this into the background, select them both and click use as mask, here is what happens. So Figma looked at the text layer and said, okay, so these areas, the letters that are completely opaque, they are not transparent at all. But these areas around the text, they are slightly transparent, but not completely. There is a black color with partial transparency, So we will show the image just partially, right? And if we play around with this shadow effect, the area that is visible, amount of visibility of this layer changes. We can move the shadow around and you can see how it affects the final outcome. So it always considers the mask as a whole object, including effects, including all objects within the group, if you're using a group as a mask. So that's important to know. Also, you can mask multiple objects. You can also use multiple objects as a mask if you group them. So at the very bottom of the elements that you're masking, there always needs to be a singular object that Figma knows is going to be used as a mask. So in this case, let's take a look at the outcome. I'm going to move this ellipse beneath these other ellipses, select them, and then use as mask. And this is what happens, right? So the blue ellipse determines the visibility of all these other ellipses. So you can see that we have a mask group that contains 6 ellipses. So when you're masking, these don't have to be grouped. But if you wanted to use these gray ellipses as a mask, you would have to group them, right? Because otherwise it would take the lowermost ellipse and use that as a mask. You don't want to do that. You want to use this group as a mask as a whole. So again, let's see what the result looks like. We're gonna make sure the blue ellipse is at the very top, select them. So now it's the other way around. So the ellipses, the group of the gray ellipses determine where the blue ellipse is going to be visible, right? In this case, it was the other way around. The blue ellipse determined the visibility of the gray ellipses. So it looks almost the same, but the colors are different because the objects you are showing, the objects you're masking, these are different, right? This is what you're masking, and this is your mask. Masking is very similar to using layer intersections, these Boolean operators like union, subtraction, intersection, but masking is more flexible. And if you want to learn more about how to intersect shapes, how to subtract them, I already did a tutorial on this. It should be on the screen right now or in the description below. And that is how you use masks in Figma. If this video helped you, I'd appreciate you leaving a like. And if you're interested in Figma, I do plenty of Figma tutorials on my channel, so make sure to check it out. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next one.